Fifth Scale Turnover Racing Network. I'm Big Kev, and man, me and the old brother, the Pain Gang, we've been out and about, driving around, just seeing what we could find. We've made it over here to Newport, Tennessee, home of the Newport Nightmare, the O Show, Mr. Jimmy Owens. Man, let's go in and check him out. Guys, we have made it in the shop. We're with none other than the Nightmare himself, the Newport Nightmare, the old show, Mr. Jimmy Owens. Jimmy, thank you for allowing us to be here in your race shop today.
Hey, thanks for coming over. It's been a long day. Glad to have you here.
Well, I'll tell you what, first thing I want to talk about is your following. You've got a pretty good amount of people that sits there on Facebook, and I was just looking on it just before we came over. 79,000 people are following you, keeping up with the stuff you do. And man, that's sometimes, to me, that's a lot of people.
That is definitely a lot of people, and we got to thank Mike Hayes and the Hayes family and all those guys that's been with us through all the years for promoting our Facebook page and all that stuff and giving people stuff to watch and look at.
Yes, sir.
And just a way to keep up with us because, I've got my own Facebook and Twitter account and all that stuff, but I'm terrible.
You're the driver, right? You got to keep that car going in a circle. Well, anyway, we're going to start this interview off with a couple of good little quick questions here and things that I think that 79,000 people would just like to know about Jimmy Owens. Number one question, Jimmy, where did it start? The very first thing, not a full-size race car, but where did this all start that you was racing something? How old was you and what was it?
Well, as far back as I can remember, me and my brother, and we've always been kind of crafty. My dad did body work and all that stuff, but we'd take index cards and we'd build little cars.
Oh, really?
And we'd take ice cream sticks and put tires and stuff on them, and then we'd get down the floor. Of course, they didn't roll because it was all paper and stuff, but we'd blow them across the floor and see who could win.
Oh, my God.
Whoever could blow the hardest won all the time. Well, Kurt's a blowhard, so he won
oh, Kurt, I heard that.
But I don't never remember not wanting to race or not fooling with racing. It's always just been something it's something I've always wanted to do. I don't know if it was a dream or it's just something I was always around, and it's just ended up
part of your
way.
life. It's just in you, ain't it? Well, okay, you start out with the flow cars there, and then you graduated on up, and I know you got other rides. So when did you decide I'm going to do this full time? I want to do this for a living. I mean, I want to be a race car driver and do it for a living.
I've never decided I wanted to do it for a living.
Yeah.
That just played into effect. I mean, I worked at TRW. I was probably down there 10 years working and racing.
Yeah.
You go in and out of the factory, and then we were running the modifieds, and we were winning. I mean, we were really successful and very fortunate. And every weekend, all the guys, I'd come in during work, and they'd ask me, well, how'd you do? And I was like, well, we did this today. He said, man, you're an idiot for working here. I was like, well, why?
Yeah.
I was like, I can't race no more than what I'm already racing because I've been here long enough. I've got daggone vacation times and all that, so I can't really race no more than what I'm doing. Plus, I've got this extra side gig here.
There you go.
And but through the years of me missing, getting sick conveniently on Fridays and Thursdays, and not being in on Mondays, it kind of took its toll and kind of led into not having that job anymore.
Yeah, I guarantee it did. I sure do. One of the questions I know it's on my mind, I don't know about everybody else's, growing up as a kid, I know you went to the races and watched and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Who was your favorite driver back then?
Who was my favorite driver besides my brother?
Yeah.
One guy that really sticks out to me when I was real little, and I don't know how many people know this, but Don Seaborn, I don't know where he's from, but he used to come to Newport when they had the NDRA and stuff. He would come down there in his number 74, and for some reason that guy, I liked that car.
Right.
And he was one of my favorite drivers. I only got to watch him race maybe 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And I remember one time I come and Mom had me a shirt made with that little iron-on patches.
Yes, sir.
You get. So
Yes,
he had
sir.
the little 74 and had his name across it.
Oh.
And so he come down out of the race and went down to the pits, and he was tickled that I had his shirt on, and he showed it a girlfriend or a wife or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was the coolest thing, that he acknowledged who I was. And that was pretty awesome. And I don't know if the guy's still alive anymore or whatever. It seems like one time at Eldora, I can't remember if I was in the modified or whatever, was up there for the Nationals, and I walked around and there was a car there, 74, and it said Don Seaborn on it. And I just I couldn't get up the nerve to go ask.
Starstruck with it. I'm the same way. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so see Jimmy Owens. I know a lot of people's out there the same way. Can I just walk up? They're standing off to the corner. Can I go over and say hey to Jimmy Owens and all that? And I'm telling you, Jimmy, you've always been one that has been very humble. And how do you maintain that? I mean, just like you were talking about. I mean, because you have won just about everything that you can win, not only in the late model size, but also the modifieds. As well. And how do you maintain just keeping your head on your shoulders and not letting it go to your head?
I just love racing, and I never had no goals. We just, like I say, I never planned on racing for a living. I consider myself, I mean, like I say, I worked at the factory for 10 years.
Yeah.
And just lo and behold, next thing you know, things played their role, and now I'm racing, and that's all I'm doing. But I try not to forget about all that, and I'm not above going back and doing it.
Right.
I mean, during this COVID-19 deal right now, I've been driving a dump truck for the last couple of weeks. So,
oh yeah, right.
Yeah, and we did all right. We had a good speed weeks down there.
Oh
so
yeah, boy.
We're doing okay, but it ain't no sense in blowing what you made.
That's exactly right. Well, I tell you what. All right, this is a question here that I know my wife comes up to a lot of these questions too, and one of her favorite questions she always likes to ask is number 20. Have you always been number 20? And the next one is, why number 20? What made you choose 20?
Okay. Well, my first car was number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
It was a T2, and it started. Me and my brother were building a car for some guys down here in our other little shop down yonder, and was building them a super stock. Well, I had this old street stock there, and I was getting the bug to where I wanted to race, but I couldn't afford to race. And these guys had money and all that stuff. Well, they're moving up a class. They've got this old car there. Well, this thing's race ready. It's a nice looking car, And I kept on aggravating them the whole time. I mean, every time they come in, I'd aggravate them about driving that car.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, when we got their car done, they brought that other car over here and said, "Here, take it and race it."
No.
It was a complete race ready car, and I was like, "Shoot, yeah."
Yeah, man. Stayed with it, huh?
But we were number 2. That was our first car. Was number 2. We ran it for that year. Well, then the next year, I bought one of my buddy's cars that we had actually built here. And now I'm kind of what number? What number do I want to be? I want to be 74 because of him.
Yep, Mr. Seymour. Yep.
And so I like that number, but then didn't really know if I wanted to be that number, and so I had a friend that owns a trucking company, and he was walking around. He's like, "Be number 20." I was like, "Why would I be number 20?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, that was my first truck." I was like, "Well, that'd look awful on the car." I said, "Who's number 20?" And then I got to thinking, locally, I was like, "There ain't no number 20." So I was like, "So what the heck? I'll be number 20."
Yeah.
And so that number, other than a longtime friend and sponsor, Alvin Renault from Aldi Trucking, that's about the only meaning that number has to us.
Really?
Just my friendship with him.
Well, that's still a cool thing there. Number 20, well, that's something I hope y'all didn't know that now you do know. All right, Jimmy, another thing is everybody in your interviews, everything that you're doing, we always seeing you chewing the chewing gum. Now, is there a reason why you're chewing that chewing gum? And number 2, what brand is it?
Well, I used to be the Bubble, just old Halloween stuff. Cheap stuff. It's out of flavor at about 2 chumps.
Yeah.
But I never noticed I chewed gum that much until people brought it to my attention.
Yeah.
You do a lot of things that you don't realize you do until people bring it to your attention.
Right.
And then since then, I've transferred over to the sugarless Trident gum because you got to take care of your chompers as best you can.
Yes, sir. I understand. But I mean, are you doing that? Does it help you in the car? Like keep your focus or? Just man, I just like chewing gum.
I don't know. It's just something I don't know.
Just
I
something
started
you do.
doing.
I got you. Well,
Maybe keep me from getting dehydrated or something. Keep my mouth from getting dry or something. Who knows?
Right.
I know it took a long time to not bite your jaw and your lip in that helmet.
Yeah.
If I could look and see scars inside your mouth, I probably got plenty of them.
Well, and I'll tell you what. Now I'm not kidding. I know racing is different now, but being in that seat, those things and some of the tracks. I mean, these cars are actually leaping off the track.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it ain't that smooth a ride in that car. You're feeling that when you're going around that track and them bumps and stuff. And I'd say you feel like sometimes you've been beat to death when you come out of that car.
It's definitely, especially when we got these full containment seats. When we first come out with these and we started running them, well, everybody was putting cheaper seats in their cars, including me. And just to get by with a cheaper full containment seat and your headrests. Well, them headrests, your head's in the middle of that, and it doesn't have the proper padding. And there was a couple of times I've hit holes in there and rattled my cage and nearly, be dazed going down the straightaway. And then I'm arguing with the Lucas guys. It's like, man, these things are more dangerous than they are helping because, we're getting a concussion just driving this stinking car.
Right.
Because of these headrests and our heads bouncing around in between there. But since then, with technology and all that stuff, they've got the padding and everything in there a lot better, and it's one of those deals. Once you start racing with it, you'll not race without it.
I got you. Well, if racing just wouldn't have been in the cards, we know you said you worked at TRW, and you said you're driving a dump truck. Is that pretty much what you think you'd still be at the old TRW right now working if you wasn't racing cars?
I actually went back when I was younger in high school. Other than racing, I wanted to. I always wanted to race. Never dreamed I'd be racing for a living. But I was just. I went to school. Went to vocational tech school over in Morristown to do machine work, CNC programming, all that stuff. And I was all the way through my class. I've liked about one chapter finishing up the CNC lathe, and then I got that race car.
That was
and that ruined everything.
We're done CNC and we're going to go racing. I got you. Well, I know everybody out there has superstitions. Every racer, I guess, they have things that they just don't allow. Some people don't allow the green. You got green. That's me. That's for you. That's luck, I guess. But some people, they just consider it just not. It's not going to be in my pit. Is there one thing that Jimmy Owens says that he's superstitious that he just ain't gonna have?
I'm not really superstitious. I don't suppose. You can eat chicken, you can eat peanuts.
Peanuts. You hear that?
I'll walk under a ladder and just whatever. But probably every race car I've ever owned had a red set of seatbelts in it.
Red set. Well, there you go. Every car he's ever owned has a red set of seatbelts. So not just exactly superstition, but just something you do.
Yeah, just something that not a lot of people know.
Yeah, there you go. All right. The next thing I want to ask you, you won just about every kind of big race there is. Is there one that when you think back, just immediately when you say, what's my favorite race I've ever won, is there one that just pops up there?
Probably my first win at Volusia this year.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've never, we won the World 100 for the first time, and I just like racing, and I didn't know the meaning of all these races.
Yeah.
The World 100, they're like, yeah, you won it, you're pumped. I was like, no, not really.
Yeah.
Should I be?
Yeah.
And so later on, once you learn the meaning and the significance of the races and what it means to other people and what it means to the sport, then it becomes more emotional when you win them, and it means more. But for some reason, that first win at Volusia, it was a World Outlaw race. It wasn't a big crown jewel event or nothing, but that's one track, that I've never really ran good at, and I've always wanted to run good at. And in the past, Chris and I, we traveled to Richmond, Kentucky in our modified nearly a month because I couldn't win up there. And so we traveled 3 hours back and forth up the road, and I was like, I'm going up here till I win a race. And, you know, we ended up being one of the best cars there. I mean, when we were loaded, we were a factor to win no matter when they had a show, because they had a lot of 3,000 and 5,000 win races. And Volusia was that crutch for me. I mean, we never ran good there. We actually had a motto that, you know, we'd run one car, one motor. We'll run as best we can. If we tear a car up, we're going home. If we tear a motor up, we're going home. Yeah. Because we're just here for the fans. We're not here to win. We're here to win, but it just don't play. The cars just don't play right. And we just don't run good. Yeah,
I got you. Well, any race out there that you just, you want to like say about everything, is there any one race out there that you're just thinking, I want that one. If I could win this one, that's the one I would like to win?
Just the next one.
The next one. There you go. Yes, sir. Always is the next one, ain't it? Well, what about a favorite track? You just talked about Volusia there, but is there a specific track that Jimmy Owens just, man, I just love going here?
Probably Knoxville, Iowa.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's fast, it's gritty. As you race, you get older, and things aren't, you lose that sensation of speed and going fast, but when you go back there, we race on all these small bull rings all year long. And then we go to Knoxville at 5/8, and you got to run right up against that wall. And you're running, God knows how fast we're running, but you're wide open up around that wall, and it's pretty nerve-wracking, and it gets you kind of pumped up, and just it's fun racetrack.
I got you. Well, there you go, Knoxville, Iowa. That's awesome, man. Oh, this here ain't even got nothing to do with racing, but what's Jimmy Owens' favorite TV show? What do you like watching? Your favorite? If you could just turn the TV on now, what you gonna watch?
Let me think about that. I've been thinking about that since you asked me. There's a couple that I guess Nathan and I and Melissa will all sit down and we'll watch The Good Doctor together. So here lately, that's been our favorite. And Nathan and Melissa have been watching I guess that 19, District 19 or something. Any District 19. It's a Station 19. There you go. So I've been kind of watching that with them, and I've kind of got to like it a little bit. So it's all right. And
I have to ask you, because everybody loves the Andy Griffith show.
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay, so you're an Andy Griffith fan too.
That other shop down there, the TV stays on Andy Griffith and Gunsmoke. If it ain't playing, it ain't on.
Gunsmoke. That's right. There we go, man. That's awesome. I love Gunsmoke too. The one thing in the race shop, as far as getting ready for race prep.
Just leaving.
Leaving?
I mean, I like being at the racetrack and I like racing, but I hate going and coming. You know what I mean? The to and from, I just really, really hate it. And especially taking this big old rig out this narrow, curvy road out here. And through the years, it's become crazy. And like before we could leave, back in 06, 07, we could leave and go out the road and not meet a car. But now it's so bad, I have to have someone just run out there and run the blocker. And Melissa will do that a lot. Sometimes if some other teams come up here with us, we'll call the local cops and they'll run the roadblock for us out through there, which they're super nice about that. And but Melissa took a many cussings from fans.
So you drive people. You drive the truck.
Yes.
You're the truck driver and the racer. Well, there you go. That's all the questions I have as far as racing is concerned. We always like to take a few minutes here and we do what we call our quick questions. We're just things off the top of your head. A couple of questions. You just say which you like better. If you don't like it, just don't say you like it. I'm sorry, I got one other question. We were talking about the big tracks, small tracks. Would you rather race a high bank track or a flat track?
It doesn't matter. High bank's good, flat's good, as long as we can race and we can pass.
And left turn.
And turn left, I'm good. I wouldn't care if there's a dog leg in there. I probably wouldn't be above wanting to drive a road course or something sometime. You know, a dirt road course would be definitely a game changer. That's for sure.
That really would. Yes, sir. Well, you heard it right straight from Jimmy Owens. You never know. Next day you're going to see. Now, if it comes to play, the general road course, you can say it's happened right here on Fitzgerald Over Racing Network. Somebody's seen that and dug a road course up for these fellers to go to. Jimmy Owens. Hey, all right, here we go. Quick questions. First thing on top of your head: soda or sweet tea?
Coffee.
Good one. Hamburger or pizza?
Pizza.
Camaro or Mustang?
Ooh, that one's. I can't just up and answer that one. I own a Mustang, but I really like a '68 Camaro.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll give you that. Would you rather have a cat or a dog?
A fish.
There you go. Fishing or hunting?
Fishing.
Disney World or the beach?
Disney World.
Early bird or a night owl?
Kind of an in-betweener. I get up about the crack of noon every day.
Oh, well, crack of it, yeah, okay. O'Reilly's or AutoZone?
O'Reilly's.
Okay. Walmart or the Dollar General?
Dollar General.
Toilet paper or toothpaste?
Toothpaste, I guess. I don't know. I got a shower for the other necessities.
There you go. Well, I can say that COVID thing, they putting the limits on stuff. I thought of that one on the way over here, to be honest with you. If a man could only buy one, what would he buy? Jimmy, I appreciate your time here with us today. We know you're busy, and hopefully that you'll be back in the holler heading down the road sooner than later. And man, best of luck to you and your team. And always, you've been our favorite racer for a long time. And I know and I appreciate what you do. And like I say, one of the other things I'm going to mention is at the racetrack, I've seen a lot of people get snubbed by a lot of different people, but you've always took time for your fans. And when other people weren't even at their fans signing autographs and stuff like that, I've seen you there doing that, and that means a lot. And I guess that goes to contribute why you got so many people.
Well, that goes back to all the way to the day when I got acknowledged by Don. I know how that made me feel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy through the years, the things that I don't know how you perceive racing or how.
Yes, sir.
The reason I want to race or the reason you do race and stuff like that. And one of my favorite things probably about racing is being an inspiration to kids and stuff like that. And that's just, things like that never get old.
Yeah.
You know, and just knowing you made an impression on someone. And with that, you got to be darn careful about what you say around these people too.
That's exactly right. Yes,
because they'll be like Jimmy just said.
That's exactly right. It follows you, don't it? Well, Jimmy, thank you again. And man, we wish you, Piscador Racing Network wishes you the very best of luck in your 2020 season, however long or short that is going to be as far as when we get started. But man, I hope you win every race you put your car on the track for.
Well, thank you, man. I'm going to have to, I got to thank my sponsors, Boom Test, Ramirez Motorsports,
yes, sir.
East Monument, Pope Construction, and Hypercoil Springs, Olin Shock Absorbers, Vic Hill Racing Engines, AFK Rod Ends. I always forget.
Yeah.
She'll kill me. But a Midwest Sheet Metal, Rocket Chassis, and the list goes on and on. Red Line Oil. I think I've said that multiple times again.
That's all right.
But just thank the fans, thank everyone watching, and just check everything out.
That's right, man. Jimmy Owens, the Newport Nightmare, the O Show. What an awesome time it's been here in Newport, Tennessee. So Big Kev, man, Mr. Jimmy Owens, the Pain Gang, and Piscador Racing Network. We'll see you at the track. Woo-wee, man, what a fun time we just had here with Jimmy Owens. Hope y'all had as much fun watching this show as we had making this show. From Big Kev, the Pain Gang, Piscador Racing Network, till we see you at the track.